All right, my friends, this is going to be a lot of fun because I am one of those dudes that, you know, my parents, when I was a kid, they always liked to teach me things that I would like use later on in life. Like, you know, for instance, if a button happens to fall off of any of my clothing, guess what? I can sew it back on. There's all sorts of cool things that you can learn from your family. So make sure that when they're trying to tell you something, use these little flappy things on the side of your head and listen, because it's really cool information. Now, today, we are going to be working on some fun things. I think it's fun because, you know, this time of year, it's all about getting festive. Now, in fact, if you can hear it, I got some Christmas music on because, you know what, it's festive. It's the week before Christmas break. Oh my gosh, it's exciting. So what we're going to do is all of the fourth grade teams, we decided, or actually the fourth grade classes rather, we decided, let's have some fun with this. We can't be in person, so we can't have our ugly Christmas sweaters on, which is what we normally would do. And I'm so mad this year. I'm going to probably wear it next Friday, but I have my Santa onesie. It lights up the chimney. If you guys remember that from last year, maybe some of you do, some of you don't. And for the new ones, you're going to see it because it's pretty awesome. Anyways, here's what we're going to do. Hopefully by now, your families have come over to the school and picked up these little bags. Now these little bags are super duper cool. I mean, I can't even, I'm just gonna dump this out. In fact, I'm gonna move my big face over here and I'm gonna open up the visualizer because why not? Move my computer, move that, and I'm gonna show you what we got in here. Now this is really cool. Oh goodness sakes. Watch out for rolling bells. First things first, you're gonna have two different pieces of felt. They're going to be green and red. And what you're going to do, if you notice in here too, careful when you pull this, there is a needle in here, and it's a sewing needle. So make sure this focuses here. There we go. I know it's all pixelated and weird. Let me fix that real quick. Yeah, that's what I thought. Much better. So be careful with this because these things, they are sharp. They will poke you, and I would suggest you don't, intentionally try and hurt anything or anyone around you, okay? So you're going to have this little mask template, which you can wear, by the way. So it's going to be kind of cool. You've got that, and you've got all sorts of goodies up in here. You've got these pipe cleaner things, a couple different colors. You got some googly eyes, some beads. You've got some bells, feathers, these little palms. I don't even know what this thing is called, the dingle puff lace thing. You've got some cool glitter stickers, popsicle sticks. I mean, we just threw everything in here for you guys to make your own ugly Christmas sweater mask. Now, this is how you can decorate it however you want to. You can glue it on, you can sew it on. Just do something so you know that it's you, because this is not my mask. I have my own mask. In fact, I'm actually going to do one myself because I want one. I want to play too. So all of this stuff is going to be in your bags, and you should be able to start creating your own mask. Oh man, I dropped the bead. I'll get it. I can't get it. There it is. Okay, beads up. Glad you got to see my head like in 3D on that one. That's kind of cool. So, first things first, what you're going to do is you're going to carefully take your needle out, okay? Now, the biggest part of this is making sure that your pieces are lined up. Now, they're not going to be exactly lined up because these were cut from two different pieces of felt, and they may not be exact, but they're going to be pretty dadgum close. Now, before you start sewing with a needle and thread, I'm going to be looking at this camera a lot, just in case. They're already knotted. Even better. Man, they are good. Next time you guys are on campus and you guys happen to see Miss Charity, Miss Weber, whichever you happen to call her, Miss Amy, Miss Carlson, make sure you thank them for putting all this stuff together because they are the rock stars behind the scenes on this. They already put a knot in. Kind of see if I can hold that up, see if I can get that to focus. You always want to knot the end of your thread. because that's what's going to keep your thread from coming apart when you start sewing. Okay, so now I know this is a very, very long piece of thread. I mean, this is, I'm 5'10". This is probably about 5 feet of thread. Okay, so first thing you're going to do, you're going to line up your pieces of felt, and I like to use a very simple stitch when I'm starting to sew things. So I'm going to kind of poke it right here in the corner, and make sure that your thumb is out of the way, because that will come through and it will poke you. Now I'm just going to pull my thread all the way through it. In fact, if you happen to get this one, it'll already be started for you. So what I'm going to do is, you see how I pulled that through? I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to put it right next to the side that I just put it on, and I'm going to pull that through again. Now what that's going to do, it's going to create a loop right there on the top. And I'm going to kind of give it a little bit of a tight tug, so you can kind of see how that made a little bit of a divot there. And then I'm just going to keep doing this. I don't know what kind of stitch this is, but I'm going to call it a whip stitch, because you're going to whip it around a few times. And you're just going to keep doing this. You want to keep your stitches pretty close together on this. And you're going to keep doing this until you get it all the way sewed up. And you're going to keep pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, and then pull. Okay? So I've already got 2 in there, and I'm just going to keep doing this until I go all the way down this seam, is what it's called. Okay, we're going to hem this together, and we're just going to hem it by hand. This is how they used to make clothes way back in the old days. So I like to keep mine, for my own, I like to keep my stitches pretty close together, because the closer the stitches are, in my opinion, it just looks a little bit better. You guys can get them as far apart as you want to. That is completely up to you. Okay? But I'm just going to get this one started. So whoever happens to get this one, I'm just going to throw it back out in the tub out there. There's a couple of them out there still. So if anybody happens to get this one, you can thank me later, because Mr. Kelly got it going for you. Okay? So we're just going to keep doing that, like I said again, until we go all the way through. And yes, it's going to take a little bit of time for you guys. Everything's not going to match up perfectly, but it's going to be close enough to where you guys can do this. So I'm just going to stop right here. And anytime when you guys are doing any type of hand sewing, your hands are going to get tired. I mean, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because it's just an activity that we don't typically use our hands a lot. So what I'm going to do, if you guys ever need to take a break, make sure you don't just leave your needles laying around. What I like to do is I have to put it into there, make sure it goes through both sides, and then I'm going to feed it back through so it looks like that. And don't push it in too far, because you don't want your needle going all the way through. So that's how you get your masks started, okay? So then again, when you get to the part to where you are completely done and say, Mr. Kelly, I'm going to start decorating my ugly Christmas sweater mask, do it like this. You can do as much or as many as you want to. If you need some, a little bit of a, maybe just an example. I know, Baby Yoda. Hello, Baby Yoda. I was looking for wallpapers earlier. It's kind of fun. Let's see here. You can go ugly Christmas. There we go. And then I'm going to say for kids, because Lord knows what the interwebs is going to shoot back to us sometimes. So you got to be really careful when you're searching for ideas. I'm going to look at images, and you can see some of these are kind of cool. You got dinosaur ones. This kid right here, I love it, because he's got all sorts of goodness going on in there. But see, there's a lot of decorations on there. But at the same time, there's no wrong answer when it comes to an ugly Christmas sweater mask. So these are cool. These kids created their own, obviously. But they have all sorts of stickers. She has a bunch of tinsel all over, garland all over her. So it's kind of cool. So you're going to have all of this goodness up in your bags. I'm going to go back to it. I said I'm going to go back to it. There we go. So you're going to have all of this stuff up in your bag. You can use as much or as little of this as you want to. There is no rhyme or reason. There's no wrong answer to it. Just make sure that you make it representative of you. Okay? Other than that, that is this assignment, my friends. When you're done, make sure you click on the Seesaw and take a picture of you wearing your mask. Hold it up for everyone to see. Show it off. I want you guys to do this thing first, though. Once you are done with making your mask, make sure that you take a picture, show it off, and then when you're done posting, I want you to go back and I want you to find 3 of your classmates' posts and comment on theirs. Yeah, spread a little bit of Christmas cheer, the holiday goodness that is all about this time of year, which, you know, in my opinion, it should honestly be done all year long. But for the most part, you, my friends, this is awesome. I love doing this kind of stuff, and I'm glad that I get to teach you this kind of stuff. And maybe you already know how to sew. Boom! But definitely, have fun with this one, my friends. It is freaking awesome. Confetti time, and go make yours. I cannot wait to see all of your cool creations that you guys throw together with your ugly Christmas sweater masks. Or we'll just call them the ugly Christmas masks. Plain and simple. Have fun, guys.